Hi guys! Today's topic is living within your means. How important is that? And what are some things we can do to make that happen? I want to give a shout out to my friend Stacy at Let's Cook, y'all. Stacy's channel is a little different from mine. Her channel is all about cooking and food and saving money at the same time. You got to check out her channel. Maybe you can get some tips on how to save money. Let me ask you a question. Are you living within your means? I'm definitely working on it all the time. So let's get to our topic. Americans have a love affair with credit cards. According to Federal Reserve, Americans have a credit debt, $853 billion with a B, dollars in debt. And that's just credit cards. As a nation, we all love to shop. But because of all that shopping, that leads us to so much debt and financial struggles monthly. Tip number 1, knowing your income and expenses. First thing you gotta know is what's coming and what is going. Budgeting would probably help you with that. And I have a series all about budgeting over here. Tip number 2, track your expenses. Again, it's all about budgeting. I think we should do the budget song again. Remember that budget song? Knowing your income and expenses is very important because this way you know how much money's coming in and in detail exactly how much money is coming out. Also, your fixed expenses as well as your variables, those that do not stay the same every single month, like a food bill. Tracking your expenses is really important because this way you understand exactly where every penny is going. And this way you are in control of your money. By budgeting, it will really help you stay within your means. Tip number 3, separate your wants and your needs. You guys know how that can get a little gray. Well, I need that computer or that latest iPhone. That's not need. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a want, but in my head, it's a need. Do you see how that can happen? Before you make that purchase, ask yourself, do I really need that? Especially if that's a big purchase. Those questions will come in very handy. You can even wait 48 hours just to make sure it's a need. Tip number 4, don't compete. What does that mean? Don't become a victim to that keeping up with the Joneses crowd. You don't want to be looking at everybody else and seeing what they have. Be like, I want that. And then this is how you end up spending even more money, especially more money than you actually have. You see people go to those awesome, amazing vacations, and you see people buy these great, brand new cars off the lot. You're like, I want that. You can't have it. Not if you want to live within your means. Tip number 5, apply the 30-day rule. What is that 30-day rule, you ask? Let's say you want to buy an expensive laptop, right? Cost you a few grand. And you're like, okay, do I need this or do I want this? Write it down, think about it for 30 days. And if you still want it that bad, during that whole 30 days, you can be saving some money towards that laptop. And at the end of 30 days, you can actually buy it for cash. That would be the best, right? Most people, after a few days, after a week, 2 weeks, they're like, do I really need that laptop? And they change their mind. But not always. If you still want it that bad, maybe it is a need. Tip number 6, keep an emergency fund. You guys know how huge I am about that emergency fund. So important. You guys, we know that it's not if an emergency is coming, it's when. Experts say the best thing to do is have at least 3 to 6 of your monthly expenses saved in your emergency fund. But hey, if you don't have that kind of money yet, that's okay. Just start with $1,000 and go from there. Tip number 7, save money whenever possible. With saving, the best thing to do is have an automatic withdrawal. What this means is every single time you get a check, have a certain amount of money go towards your savings account or your emergency fund, or both, which is even better. And this way you have this mentality of saving monthly without even thinking. You kind of take the thinking out of it and you just keep saving and saving and saving. In a few months, you look at your accounts and you're like, whoa, I saved quite a bit of money and you didn't even think about it. Isn't that awesome? I just love saving. Just love it so much. Tip number 8, cut down on your expenses. If you're struggling to live within your means, you have to take a hard look on those expenses. And you guys know, budgeting will help you with that. For example, a gym membership that maybe you haven't used for a few years. Maybe you're spending too much money on getting your hair done or those nails. Or cable, remember that one? How about a cell phone bill? Maybe you're overpaying and you don't even know it. Maybe you don't need all those bells and whistles. You can always move that around and cancel things you don't use and save money that way. Tip number 9, boost your income. If all else fails, the simplest way to boost your income is getting a raise at your job. Maybe you should go talk to your boss, or maybe you might have to look for a better paying job. You can always turn your hobbies into a business, which can make you some extra income as well. Tip number 10, do not deprive yourself. While this is the last tip, this is one of the most important tips of all of them. When you hear the term living within your means, and then you combine that with the word budgeting, it kind of sounds scary, right? And you think deprivation and I won't be able to do what I want. And right away in your head, you're like, forget it. I don't want to do this living within your means thing. But you can look at it like this. Dieting and budgeting is almost the same thing. On both, you have to work on discipline and self-control. But hey, it could be different for everyone. Living within your means doesn't have to be about depriving yourself of great things. Spending less money on your car insurance by raising your deductible doesn't really impact you or your life directly. Or having some coffee at home versus going to the coffee shop. That means you can live within your means and enjoy your life at the same time. That is pretty cool. Sign me up. My challenge for you is think about what you really enjoy and find a way to get it for less money. I hope those tips are really going to help you live within your means. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you will apply some of these tips in your life. If you like this video, hit thumbs up and share it with a friend. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the red button. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to make sure you miss no future videos. You guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.